Hello humans, today I will be trying on a full face of Charlotte Tilbury makeup to get the look that you see here. At the time of filming this video, I am still not convinced. However, I want to give the products a fair chance. Stay tuned for my final verdict at the end. And let's get into the makeup application. Let's try the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream first. So I got this set from my rewards, I think, from Sephora. And it has a small size of the magic cream. So I've heard from some people that this is supposed to be a revolutionary moisturizer. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. As per Sephora's description, a visibly age-defying moisturizer with hyaluronic acid to plump the look of skin and diminish the look of wrinkles, leaving your complexion visibly glowing and prepped for flawless makeup. So it is suitable for makeup prep. That's good to know. And for skin type, it says normal and dry, which mine is very dry. So that's good. There isn't a lot of other information. It's pretty basic in terms of the description written here. So the Sephora listing doesn't really say what kind of magic it does, like what differentiates it from other moisturizers, because it is 125 Canadian dollars, and that is a hefty price tag to be asking for a moisturizer. Let's see what it does. So this is a 7 ml container. Oh my god, it smells like Pond's cold cream that I used to use when I was a child. Oh my god, I wonder if it's like that on the skin too. It does say that Charlotte was looking for a glowy base when she created this. And Pond's cold cream was quite a glowy cream. Oh my god, it smells suspiciously like that. This is making me nostalgic for Pond's cold cream. Maybe I'll get that one. Okay, so even the feeling is like Pond's cold cream, like my skin can't breathe. So it's definitely some sort of hydration. It is slightly oily, so I think that's why it's not recommended for oily skin types. And it's not an entirely breathable formula either. This reminds me exactly like Pond's cold cream. If anyone knows what that is, I'm not sure if people in North America use it, but certainly in the third world, it's the moisturizer of choice in the winter. Personally, I prefer my moisturizers to be a little bit breathable. So I prefer something like the Kate Somerville moisturizer. I don't remember the name. And Glow Recipe ones. Even though my skin is dry, I don't want it to be overly oily or like it's blocking my skin's pores. This probably is not going to be my moisturizer of choice. And I'm glad about that because I ain't paying $125 for this. I'm still using my BoxyCharm moisturizers. It's feeling a little bit sweaty in this area and maybe the upper lip, but I think that's what they call hydration. Let's move on to foundation. So this is the Airbrush Flawless Foundation, which I'm going to be applying. It says stays all day and night, so it's supposed to be long wearing. The problem is I don't have a good shade in this. I got this through BoxyCharm a while ago, and this is 7 Warm. My undertone is neutral, so warm ones are too yellow on me. And my true shade, as per my shade match that I did in Sephora, is a 7.5 neutral. So let's go on in with this and see. I have used this before without caring for the bad shade match, but now I will be seeing it in studio lights, so that's always good. 2 pumps. Let's do So one thing about this foundation that I don't like is the smell. It's kind of chemically. I thought it was expired, but then I went to Sephora and I smelled the other ones, and it's not expired, it's just the smell of the foundation. However, some brands add very strong fragrances to the foundation, and me being sensitive to fragrances, that's not great either. Once it goes on, you cannot smell it, but the foundations with added fragrance, such as the Valentino foundation and the Gucci foundation, they do smell. Like you can smell the scent even when it's on your face. So I don't personally mind that too much about this. I'm not gonna lie, I like this foundation. I've actually used it despite the poor color match. Even then, I have used it multiple times, and I've just like organically reached for it because I actually like the formula. It's very smooth. It's good coverage. It's a little bit more than the light medium coverage some of these other high-end foundations have been offering. So that's one thing I like about this. It has a little bit of a higher coverage. I don't own any concealer from this brand, so let's move on to contour. So we have the Hollywood Contour Wand, Easy Contour. I did try this before in another video. I haven't used it since, so I'm going to try and use it the way it's meant to be used. Hopefully I've learned something from the previous experience. I will link that video somewhere up here. What I learned from that previous experience was that you have to work a little quickly or it will dry down. So let's open this wand up and work in sections. I'm not a big contour person. It's not something I do ever. So yeah, it's not something I'm very experienced at. Let's try and blend this out. It seems more of a shadow on the camera viewfinder than it does in real life. In real life, it's quite subtle now. And I think I will leave it there. And before you put this away, remember to lock it and then store, because it will leak and there isn't a lot of product in there to begin with. And it's very pricey, might I add, for what it is. I'm not the biggest fan of a contoured face. I don't want to look like a dude with like sharp cheekbones. Okay, it gives the face a little bit of dimension and I don't hate that. And I think I'm getting better at using it properly, so with a denser brush. Let's move on to my favorite part, which is the blush. From my previous try on that I did link a little bit earlier, I actually enjoyed the Matte Beauty blush wands, and I have two more of them. One is in Dream Pop and the other is in Peach Pop. Let's do one on each cheek, as is customary. They do go on a little bit glowy, but they do set to a matte finish, as far as I remember from my Pink Pop try-on. So the Pink Pop seemed a smidge too light on my skin tone, but this actually looks pretty good. I think this is the right shade for me. I do wonder how this will perform on deeper skin tones though. Okay, make sure to turn this off. Okay, I love this color. This is gorgeous. Let's do Peach Pop. Ooh, is that gonna be too much? I wonder. Okay, that turned quite sheer very quickly. Let's add some more. It does look sheer and kind of oily on first application, but at least with Pink Pop, it turned a little bit brighter after it dried down. Let's see if that's the case with this one as well. I actually like this color. This is also very cute. So I'm going to turn this one off and just put any excess product onto the cheek. Why not go overboard like I do with literally everything? I love it. This is good. This isn't bad at all. I think this is the product I like most from Charlotte Tilbury so far. I'm gonna wipe it on a paper towel. The excess product, I just don't want it sitting around. I don't like the idea of these sponge tip applicators because the product is going to just stay on there and breed bacteria. Hopefully not if it's not a water-based formula. If it's oil-based, maybe it'll be less unsanitary. Okay, that is a lovely color. I did go overboard, but I wanted to see what the color was like when it's built up to its full opacity. Okay, let's move on to some highlighters. I have the Gracefully Beauty Light Wand in Pinkgasm and Peachgasm. So this is supposed to be a blush, but I'm going to use it as a highlighter because I used this one off camera, the Peachgasm one, as a blush and I didn't like it. It was a little too sheer for my taste. It just made my cheeks look oily because I applied it on a bigger surface area. So I'm just going to reduce the surface area to just the high points of the cheekbones and see if that makes any difference. Maybe on lighter skin tones this would look good, but also after I put this on, I fell asleep on the couch and it rubbed off. I'm not sure you're supposed to do that with these. Let's start with Pinkgasm. This is what it looks like. Let's do it on the Dream Pop side. Okay. That has barely any glow. I think that's because it's supposed to be used as a glowy blush. Should I just wipe these off and do it again? And see how they look without anything else? Let's do that after I use them as highlighters, so we can decide whether it's a good highlighter or is it a good blush, or neither. Yeah, in terms of highlighter, I don't think this is gonna make a good highlighter at all. So yeah, bummer. Similar subtle color. Now, these are not a highlighter formula. I don't think so. I will be right back with my foundation done and my cheeks clear so we can test these out as blushes. I am back with a fresh coat of foundation. It has dried down, so let's get into the blush slash highlighters. This is Peachgasm. So it kind of blends away to nothing. Let's put a bunch more on. That was exactly my experience when I tried it the first time. You have to build it up a lot. You see almost no color payoff, at least in my skin tone. I have a bunch of product on the applicator and I'm going to keep going till it gives me something. This is what the result looks like. A very shiny, sweaty looking cheek with very little color payoff. This is clearly not meant for medium to deep skin tones. Maybe a very light skin tone can make it work as a blush, but not me. Charlotte Tilbury as a brand has, I feel like, historically been geared towards light skin tones, they only recently just introduced a deeper shade in these glowy blushes, which is like a shiny red called Pinkgasm Sunset, I believe. I'm not gonna get that one. I don't like these oily looking formulas. This is a miss for me, unfortunately. Even their Pillow Talk lipstick has been such a pale color, which is so unflattering on deeper skin tones. And I think not very long ago they introduced this one called Pillow Talk Medium. So they're trying. This is Pinkgasm. Let's hope it works better than the Peachgasm. Okay, I'm pressing and nothing's coming out. What the fuck? Come on. Okay, now it seems to be doing something. Again, blending away into nothing. Yeah, this is going to be the same thing as Peachgasm. So my two choices to use these are as an extremely sweaty, oily looking cheek built up like this, or on top of a blush where it will barely even show up as a highlighter. I'm not happy with either of those choices. Okay, it built up a little bit better than Peachgasm. I had to go in like 5 times for that. This is good in 2. Let's add more. Okay, this one I don't mind as much. It's still very sweaty looking, and it doesn't completely set down. It does wipe off, but let's just go with it. These are not going to be my favorites at all, I can tell. So much product gets left over in these sponge tips. If you wipe them off on a paper towel like I'm doing, it just keeps coming, even though this is closed. And I despise the fact that there is a very small amount of product in here. You have to squeeze hard to get any out. Let's apply the lipstick in Pillow Talk Medium and see if it's suitable for medium skin tones like myself. It's like a rosy brown color. So this is a nice everyday pinky nude color. I actually really like it. I might consider buying a full size of this one. So kudos for that. I like this. I think these blushes could work for someone who likes a really glowy blush. But personally, I don't like that. Can you see how it's emphasizing texture? I didn't even know I had that much texture. But the glow is nice. At least it's showing up lovely on camera. I actually prefer the Pinkgasm. I think it shows up way better than Peach. I think I can make them work. I spent quite a bit on this, so I don't wanna have them just stay in my collection and serve no purpose. I actually have a few lipsticks from Charlotte Tilbury from a while back, and also intermittently I did purchase some lipsticks. I think the lipstick formula is great. What's it called? The Matte Revolution, that's my favorite. I actually got one in Gracefully Pink recently, and I wanted to try it on, but then I thought more people might be interested in the Pillow Talk Medium because that's the signature color. So let's swatch this for now. Here is the swatch. Nice mid-tone, warm kind of pink. I must say, Charlotte Tilbury's lipstick color selections are so great. They're good for everyday wear. And that is interesting because I used to be in all sorts of crazy colors, but now I think these are great. I actually really enjoy the lipstick colors that the brand does. Another product that I own that I have been using, but I want to try it on right now on camera, is the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in the shade medium. I like this flowery compact. This was like a Lunar New Year special edition, I think. Let's try this on. So far, I haven't noticed anything special about this, but I won't say it's a bad product. I think it does the job. If I were wearing this out, I would not apply the powder where the glowy blush is, but just for the sake of experimentation, I'm going to do that and see what happens. So that's interesting. You can see it took down the shine almost completely, and now it's like a very light peach color over here. And the same with this, very little shine, just a pink color left behind. I think we're still seeing a little bit of shine here or over here. I'm going to quickly powder this. Okay, so I like the powder. I think it's second to my Givenchy powder. I think it does a good job of setting everything in place. Does not appear like I have powder on top of my skin. No reflection, nothing like that. I can't say I've tried that many powders because I have dry skin. Sometimes I don't end up using powders at all in my makeup routine. But I'm not a fan of the Laura Mercier translucent powder, so if that gives you any context. I think the powder is quite good. I think it does the job really well. It blurs everything out. I don't see anything wrong with it. My eyes are primed, and the second last thing I want to try is the Pillow Talk Luxury Palette of Pops. Now, I didn't purchase this full price. I got this at a Winners, the equivalent of a TJ Maxx in the US. This is what it looks like. It's an all shimmer palette. I was wondering why this is an all shimmer palette, because in YouTube videos or elsewhere I see people using ones that have a couple of mattes as well. But I think they do have some all shimmer palettes, and this is that one. I did swatch this out. It was a little bit hard. Not the most emollient formula, but let's see how it goes on the eyes. These are very neutral colors, which is typically not my jam, but I wanted to try these. Going in with this deeper brown color. I'm just going to put this all over the lid. Then I'm going to blend it out with this shade right here. I'm going to do this Champagne Shimmer as the inner corner highlight. I'm going to add this pinky shimmer to the brow bone for a highlight. So this is a nice palette, but is it anything special? I am not entirely sure of that, but if you're the kind of person who likes to have a smaller palette on the go that you can just, apply quickly, and these are nice neutral everyday shades, this could be good for you. Personally, I prefer a more detailed look, a more colorful look. So while this is not exactly my style, I think this is good quality. It has micro glitters all over the shades. They're very pretty. Although it does feel dry when you put your finger in there for swatches, but It does pick up very well with my Sigma brushes, so I'm happy about that. So it's quite user-friendly, is what I'm trying to say. Let me finish my eyes and then I will be back to try the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Here is the finished look. Let's seal it in with the setting spray. I am told that this setting spray is transfer proof and we are going to put it to the test. Okay, that's quite glowy. The fan might be a better option. So it dried down to a slightly glowy finish, as you can see. Some of that glow is back that I earlier tried to mattify with the setting powder. And it's a very natural glow, and I like that. Let's see if this is transfer proof or not. I'm going to take a paper towel and see how much comes off in terms of transfer. Let's try the blushes first because these do transfer quite a bit. They are still a bit sticky. So a little bit of these is still coming off. Let's try foundation. Not too much, just a little bit. Okay, it came off from here. It could be that I didn't apply it evenly enough, but it's definitely quite transfer proof on the nose, so that's good. So if you rub it, the eyeshadow does come off a little bit. I redid the mouth area with the setting spray, and let's see if anything comes off. I did give it a moment to dry down as well. Okay, that's definitely a lot less transfer than I was expecting. So I do see the transfer proof properties of this setting spray, which is impressive. And the fragrance isn't too bad either. I don't know why it reminds me of a hair salon. Let's see if the upper lip. Yeah, almost nothing came off from the upper lip, like the foundation. Okay, I'm not mad at this. This is actually good. So what is the verdict? What are my final thoughts? I think the products that I tried in this video are quite good. I am particularly fond of the foundation. The magic cream is a no. The eyeshadow palette is nice, but I would not pay 80 something Canadian for this, and I would not pay the $39 I paid at Winners either if I didn't have to try it on camera. So yeah, that is a no. There are way too many good indie brands and way too many good eyeshadows on the market that this is not necessary. The lipstick formula I already know I like. I have liked this for quite a few years now. The matte blushes are probably my favorite thing from this whole lineup because these are pigmented, easy to blend, exceptionally nice finish. The finishing powder I also like. It's a good product and I see myself using it. The contour wand is something that is not according to my personal preferences. I don't contour a lot and it does set down quite quickly, so you have to work fast. But it is a good product for someone who wants to contour. And I think the shade is on point for skin tones like mine. I'm not sure if they have deeper shades yet or not, but if they don't, then that's a bummer. These two, the glowy blushes, they did not work for me. I think these are too light for my skin tone, and they don't work as highlighters for me either, so these are definitely a miss for me, and I wish I hadn't bought them. I also have the highlighter in Spotlight. I think that one is gorgeous. That is definitely a good highlighter. Now let's talk about prices. This came to me through BoxyCharm, so it was a deal. The rest of the items I picked up from Sephora with the 20% discount, or the Charlotte Tilbury website, which was having a 20% off sale as well. I would not pay full price for these, especially these wands. There is very little product in them. Some of these are not perfect for everybody, like these blush highlighter hybrids. I don't think these are worth it at all. If they had been 30 Canadian dollars, I may have been okay with these, but yeah. Now, the lipsticks are nice, but I would rather not pay full price for those either, and that's just me. So what's my conclusion after trying all of this? My conclusion is that Charlotte Tilbury products are good, but honestly, I kind of don't understand the hype. People hype this brand up on social media so much that it's hard for me to understand. Like, it's one of the most sought after brands, and it's just kind of mind-boggling to me. I think I know why though. I think in North America there is more of a trend of neutral makeup, so all of these things, they're quite neutral. The color selections, everything is very neutral, very everyday wear, and I think that is where this brand shines. If I had to take an educated guess, this brand targets mostly people with fair and light skin tones, so that is, I think, most of their customer base, which again may not be perfect for someone like myself, and that is why I wasn't interested in trying this brand except for maybe YouTube. So yeah, now that I've tried it, it's not that I'm in love with the brand at all. I would still not pay these hefty prices for these products, even though the products are good. I would still maybe wait for sales or something. Although I must say, everything that I've tried from the brand, I think I'm gonna be good for a while. I don't see any other products that I'm currently interested in, and I'm going to keep trying these and see if I like them more or maybe not. But it's definitely not going to be my favorite. That is my verdict on this. That is all I had to say for this video. If you learned something from this, give it a thumbs up, encourage, and subscribe so you can see more content of this type. And I will see you in my next video. Bye now.